One of the most inspirational stories is Dolly Parton's journey from a poor child to a well-known superstar, proving that anybody can succeed if they put in the necessary effort. Throughout her incredible career, she's formed essential alliances, facilitating her growth. One of these collaborations eventually deteriorated, leading to much friction, and Dolly developing a deep hate for one of her fellow music business heavyweights. Are you curious about this issue? Please take a moment to stay with us. Birth and early life. Born in Locust Ridge, Tennessee on January 19, 1946, Dolly Rebecca Parton was the eldest of 12 children in a family severely impacted by poverty. Their little income from her father's work as a tobacco planter and sharecropper supported them as they lived in a tiny cabin in the Great Smoky Mountains. Despite their difficulties, Dolly's family maintained a tight bond, creating a cozy and affectionate atmosphere. Dolly grew inspiration from this close-knit relationship at a young age, which would later influence her storytelling and artistic abilities. Her musical gift was sown by her mother's folk tunes, lullabies, and the gospel music she heard at church. The family's constant encouragement and support fostered her love of singing and songwriting. Dolly often attributed her inventiveness, tenacity, and ultimate ascent to fame to these formative years of love and adversity. Born with musical talent. Music was a big part of Dolly Parton's early years and soon became her most extensive interest. Her mother, Lee, fostered her natural gift by performing folk songs and traditional ballads for the family. Dolly was significantly impacted by these tunes and tales, which helped mold her talent to write meaningful and emotionally charged songs. Church also had a significant influence on her musical development. Dolly was exposed to the ferocious gospel music of the Pentecostal church, which stoked her passion and served as the foundation for her artistic vision. Some of her first chances to act in front of an audience came from her involvement in church services, which helped her develop her stage presence and confidence. These early life events paved the way for Dolly's distinctive voice, combining a poignant narrative with a wide range of musical influences, and she became a renowned performer. Her first guitar. When Dolly Parton was 8, her uncle gave her a guitar, beginning her musical career. She taught herself to play, directing her feelings into the songs and words she composed. She was resourceful and determined. Her compositions often captured honest, real subjects that struck a deep chord, reflecting her family's hardships and hopes for a better future. Dolly captivated listeners with her deep voice and innate charm on local radio and television shows before the age of 10, thanks to her extraordinary talent and captivating personality. Her career began with these early performances, demonstrating her ability to turn real struggles into relevant and poignant songs. Dolly was already setting the stage for a famous career that would inspire millions of people with her guitar and love of storytelling. The world of country music. Determined to dominate the country music market, Dolly Parton set her eyes on Nashville after graduating high school. Her path wasn't without difficulties. At first, talent scouts questioned her abilities and urged her to change how she looked to conform to the standards of female artists at the time. However, Dolly stuck to her voice and style because being loyal to herself would be beneficial. Her uniqueness was evident, but her outstanding songwriting started to draw attention. Put It Off Until Tomorrow, which Dolly co-wrote with her uncle Bill Owens, was a moderate success for Bill Phillips in 1966. Dolly's career, which would soon transform country music and solidify her reputation as a pioneer in the business, began with this early success, which signaled the start of her development as a talented composer. A reputation as a songwriter. Dolly Parton signed with Combine Publishing as her increasing fame opened avenues for her as a composer. This collaboration helped her hone her skills and improve her ability to use music to tell moving tales. Dolly filled her songs with passion and accessible subjects, drawing from her poverty-stricken origins and astute observations of human nature. Fans of country music found great resonance in her work and valued her ability to turn universal and personal experiences into powerful songs. Dolly established the foundation for a career that would quickly make her one of the most renowned personalities in the music business as her reputation as a composer grew. Her growing popularity. When Dolly Parton joined the Porter Wagoner Show, one of the most popular television shows of its day, in 1967, her career took a big turn for the better. She displayed her extraordinary skill, kindness, and strong voice in front of a national audience. Dolly developed her stage presence and acquired the self-assurance necessary to succeed in the cutthroat music business under Porter Wagoner's tutelage. Some of their chart-topping duets, such as The Last Thing on My Mind and Just Someone I Used to Know, became country music mainstays. Dolly's status as a rising star was cemented by these partnerships, which also marked the beginning of her ascent to fame in the country music industry. Her early career was defined by her experience in the program, which paved the way for many more outstanding accomplishments. Thriving in the field dominated by men. Meanwhile, Dolly's solo career was booming. Her 1967 first album, Hello, I'm Dolly, had songs like Dumb Blonde and Something Fishy. Apart from its widespread appeal, the album showcased her singing and poet skills. Dolly started to disrupt settings controlled mainly by men, demonstrating her ability to achieve independently. Jolene was one of Dolly's first well-known songs when she sang it in 1973. The concept for the song came from a conversation her husband had with a bank teller. It included universal themes of love and uncertainty. Its haunting melody and Dolly's poignant delivery made it an instant hit. Even today, Jolene remains one of her best-known songs. It showcased Dolly's storytelling skills via her songs and her talent for creating endearing characters that resonated with listeners worldwide. The song that established her as a star. When Dolly Parton started a solo career in 1973, she penned I Will Always Love You as a poignant goodbye to her mentor, Porter Wagoner. Full of honesty and intense passion, this moving song represented a turning point in her career. Dolly puts everything into the music, a tribute to self-reliance and thankfulness. The song became a timeless classic and solidified her status as a solo performer. Many musicians have reworked I Will Always Love You throughout the years, but none more so than Whitney Houston, whose 1992 performance made it a worldwide phenomenon. This classic song transcended genres, striking a chord with listeners everywhere and establishing Dolly's reputation as a composer who can create hits for all audiences. Its popularity signaled a sea change, transforming Dolly from a country music icon to a globally acclaimed performer. Writing her experience in songs. The groundwork for Dolly Parton's decades-long artistic legacy was established in her formative years. Through her compositions, she turned personal struggles into relevant and poignant tales because of her perseverance, love of music, and self-belief. These hardships became songs that reached far beyond her modest upbringing. Her unique voice and remarkable narrative skills were displayed in hits like Jolene and I Will Always Love You. These early triumphs signaled the beginning of a genius that could meld her style with universal feelings. Her flexibility and innovative cross-genre collaborations sparked Dolly's extraordinary career. She paved the way in mainstream and country music, leaving a legacy that motivated decades. Her reputation as one of the most adored and lasting characters in entertainment history was cemented by her ability to incorporate her actual experiences into her artwork. Adapting and expanding her music. One of the main factors in Dolly Parton's successful career was her ability to adapt and expand her musical range. Although Dolly is considered a country music mainstay, her career and fan base grew due to her ventures into pop, bluegrass, and gospel music. One of her most famous collaborations started when she appeared on the Porter Wagoner Show in 1967. This partnership with Wagoner was crucial to developing Dolly's stardom and exposing her to a national television audience. They worked on well-known duets such as The Last Thing on My Mind and Daddy Was an Old-Time Preacher Man. Because of the collaboration, Nashville recognized Dolly, strengthening her standing in the country music sector. Before leaving to begin her career in 1974, she wrote a farewell song for Wagoner, I Will Always Love You. The The song became a global smash when Whitney Houston revised it in 1992, transforming it into a strong ballad that combined mainstream and country music. From country to pop. Dolly Parton started to broaden her musical horizons in the late 1970s, branching out into pop without sacrificing her country heritage. Gary Klein's production of her 1977 album, Here You Come Again, was a turning point in her career. Her first major pop hit, the title single, peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and displaced her trademark charm. This accomplishment solidified Dolly's reputation as a crossover phenomenon by introducing her to a broader audience. She showed off her incredible range by skillfully fusing pop music's polished appeal with country music's narrative quality. This change demonstrated Dolly's flexibility without sacrificing her identity, creating new avenues for her career and laying the groundwork for her long-lasting reputation as a multi-genre legend. Duet with Kenny Rogers. Dolly Parton worked with some of the biggest names in the music business in the 1980s, producing timeless singles that appealed to listeners all over the globe. She recorded the Bee Gees song Islands in the Stream with Kenny Rogers in 1983. Their unique vocal connection and the song's catchy appeal helped it rocket to the top of the country and mainstream charts. The duet, which was immediately acknowledged as a classic, brought out the individual talents of both performers. In addition to working together in the studio, Rogers and Parton toured together for several years, solidifying their place as one of the most adored and lasting duos in country music. Dolly's image as a dynamic and adaptable performer was further cemented by the success of Islands in the Stream, demonstrating her ability to engage audiences of many genres. Her other collaborations. Apart from her famous duet with Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton kept broadening her musical horizons by working with other well-known musicians. Her collaboration with Linda Ronstadt and Emmylou Harris on the highly regarded 1987 album Trio was among the most important. The CD showcased the three women's skills by fusing pop, traditional country, and folk components. Trio was praised for its tasteful fusion of several musical genres and was a financial and creative triumph. However, a personal conflict during the recording sessions caused friction between Dolly and one of her colleagues, igniting a long-running feud. Even while the album's popularity cemented their legacy in music, the difficulties they faced behind the scenes would have a long-lasting impact on their relationship. We'll get into the specifics of this rivalry and how it affects their careers. Rainbow Land with Miley Cyrus. Dolly Parton has continuously shown her willingness to work with up-and-coming musicians and use modern platforms to connect with new fans. Her work on the song Rainbow Land with Miley Cyrus is one noteworthy example. This collaboration combined Dolly's classic sound with Miley's contemporary influence, demonstrating her desire to try out new looks and interact with younger audiences. Dolly has collaborated with other well-known musicians in addition to Cyrus, including Norah Jones, Sia, and even EDM producer G. Atlantis, who turned her iconic song Jolene into a lively dance tune. These partnerships demonstrate Dolly's incredible ability to stay faithful to her origins while staying current in the rapidly changing music industry. She's maintained a strong presence in the business by appealing to new listeners and devoted fans because of her versatility and openness to different genres. Dolly Parton, the musical icon. Dolly Parton is unquestionably one of entertainment history's most adaptable and durable personalities, with a career spanning decades and genres. From her beginnings in country music to her successful transition into pop and EDM, Dolly's ability to enthrall listeners across various musical genres is unmatched. Her partnerships with multiple musicians like Miley Cyrus and Kenny Rogers further demonstrates her exceptional ability to fuse musical genres while maintaining her voice and style. Beyond her musical accomplishments, Dolly has remained at the forefront of the business because of her constant self-reinvention. Dolly has shown that her legacy goes far beyond her roots in country music by being current and impactful via her business endeavors, charitable endeavors, and creative partnerships. Her career proves the value of flexibility, creativity, and being loyal to oneself. Music icon to actress. Dolly Parton had a successful singing career and transitioned into acting in Hollywood. Her innate charm, sharp sense of humor, and exuberant nature were ideal for the big screen. Dolly's first notable film appearance was in the 1980 hit comedy 9 to 5, which addressed female empowerment and working discrimination. She portrayed the vivacious secretary Dora Lee Rhodes in the movie, who confronts her sexist employer. Due to the popularity of her performance, Dolly was nominated for a Golden Globe. She also added the famous song 9 to 5 to the film soundtrack, which became the #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100 and won Dolly a Grammy nomination. Her accomplishments in acting and singing demonstrated her adaptability and cemented her status as a multi-dimensional performer with a lasting impact in both fields. The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Dolly Parton developed her acting career throughout the 1980s and 1990s, landing several noteworthy parts. She played Miss Mona, the violent and tenacious brothel madam, in the 1982 film The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, co-starring with Burt Reynolds. In addition to receiving praise from critics for her performance, Dolly added the well-known song I Will Always Love You to the film soundtrack. Her ability to combine comedy with genuine passion showed her flexibility as an actor. Dolly starred with Shirley MacLaine, Sally Field, and Julia Roberts in the 1989 film Steel Magnolias. Her performance as the kind and funny owner of a beauty salon, Truvy, received a lot of attention and gave her acting career more depth. Dolly's reputation as a multi-talented performer who could add charm and genuineness to whatever character she played was reaffirmed by both movies. Celebrating her Appalachian roots. Apart from her film career, Dolly established Dollywood, a tourist park in her hometown of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, in 1986. The park allowed Dolly to give back to her community and celebrate her Appalachian ancestry. What started as a little amusement park gained popularity because of its rides, music, and Appalachian-themed entertainment. Dolly's transition from a successful entertainer to a successful businesswoman was made possible by Dollywood. The park continued to grow, becoming a complete family vacation with the addition of Dollywood's Dreammore Resort and Splash Country. Dollywood has also hosted Dollywood's humanitarian activities, most notably her Imagination Library, which distributes free books to children worldwide. The music icon she disliked. Dolly Parton is a legend in the entertainment and business sectors due to her remarkable ability to juggle acting, singing, and business endeavors. Dolly, however, has a significant hatred for one musical legend despite her immense recognition and many successful collaborations. Their relationship was strong at first but gradually deteriorated. This individual turned out to be Linda Ronstadt, another country music icon. Their conflict began in the late 1980s while Dolly was working with Linda and Emmylou Harris on recording the Trio album. Even though the record was a critical and financial success, there was a lot of creative conflict behind the scenes, especially between Dolly and Linda. Friction between the icons. Dolly, renowned for her unrestrained approach to music, felt that Linda's meticulous nature was oppressive, while Linda thought that Dolly's more impromptu approach needed to meet her high expectations. Their divergent creative views created a hostile work atmosphere and animosity that persisted for years. The conflict between Dolly and Linda persisted even after they ultimately made up and collaborated once again on the Trio 2 album. Dolly has acknowledged that their disagreements had a long-lasting effect, and even though she's expressed regret for her part in the argument, it's still one of the few unsolved conflicts in her generally cordial career. The Trio. One of the most recognizable and significant musical collaborations of the 1980s was formed by Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt, and Emmylou Harris. They combined their distinct approaches to produce a revolutionary sound firmly anchored in tradition. Each performer had already achieved critical and financial success in their respective genres by the middle of the 1970s. Linda Ronstadt was a well-liked personality in rock and pop. Dolly Parton was well known for her ability to smoothly combine pop and country music, while Emmylou Harris gained recognition for her unadulterated classic country music. Notwithstanding their differences, the three ladies respected each other's abilities and a similar objective: to record an album commemorating country music's rich history. The best of three worlds. They aimed to combine their different styles: Dolly's country pop crossover, Emmylou's traditional country origins, and Linda's pop influences into a cohesive whole that would appeal to a wide range of listeners. Trio, a highly praised album that showcased the timeless beauty of country music from a more contemporary perspective and caught the wonder of their combined vocals, was the result of their collaboration and was released in 1987. Even if their collaboration wasn't without difficulties, Trio is a notable accomplishment in each of the three musicians' careers. It represents what may occur when various skills unite to honor a shared passion for music. The dream of recording an album. Emmylou Harris, who long admired Dolly and Linda's skills, came up with the idea of the partnership of Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt, and Emmylou Harris. She imagined that something remarkable might be created by fusing their distinct skills. Emmylou, passionate about keeping traditional country music alive, thought the three could make an album that appreciated the genre's rich past while showcasing their talents. Dolly and Linda were equally excited by the concept and started getting together informally to sing in harmony. As they connected over their mutual love of music, their early sessions were brimming with creative energy. Playing together, sharing ideas, and experimenting with harmonies was enjoyable for the three musicians. The idea was rapidly gathering speed, and it was evident that their voices mixed nicely. There was no denying the women's early friendship, and there appeared to be no end to the possibility of producing something extraordinary. Spontaneity versus perfectionism. However, as they moved from casual jam sessions to more serious recording endeavors, their differing creative visions, particularly between Dolly and Linda, began manifesting. Dolly, famous for her spontaneous, unrestrained style of music, believed that it should evolve organically and flow in the here and now. She wanted to allow the music to take off without overanalyzing or overproducing it. However, Linda was known for her expertise and meticulous attention to detail. To ensure every aspect of their recordings was flawless, she often requested several takes and made little adjustments to the arrangements and harmonies. Emmylou as the mediator. Emmylou became entangled in this growing argument. As the mediator between the two, she tried to control their creative arguments and preserve peace since she recognized the significance of both approaches. Emmylou recognized Dolly's demand for musical autonomy and appreciated Linda's attention to detail. She suggested they repeat songs after breaks to allow everyone to unwind and return with fresh ideas, striking a balance between spontaneity and correctness. Unfortunately, these temporary solutions did not fully resolve the underlying issues. Conflict between their ideologies. Dolly and Linda's anxiousness grew as they neared the completion of their debut album. Their egos began to clash as they tried to find a meaningful voice in the project's direction. Dolly's carefree attitude and desire for creative freedom clashed with Linda's insistence on precision and perfection, creating a challenging work environment. Linda began to see Dolly's more laid-back manner as a lack of seriousness, while Dolly became irritated with Linda's attention to handling every detail. Completed the project despite their differences. The band overcame these obstacles to finish the album, which was released in 1987. The CD was a critical and commercial success and received accolades for its voice blending and harmonies. Even though Dolly and Linda had constant arguments throughout the recording process, Trio's success demonstrated that critics and fans liked their collaboration. However, the difficulties Dolly and Linda had throughout the recording process would have a lasting impact on their relationship, and their disagreements remained a cause of stress in their personal and professional lives. Their experience being bittersweet. Despite its ultimate success, the partnership between Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt, and Emmylou Harris was a mix of friction and promise. Even though their album Trio became a hit, it also brought attention to the underlying tension between Dolly and Linda, exposing their difficulties personally and creatively when they collaborated. The encounter was bittersweet for Emmylou, who acted as a mediator between the two. She was delighted with their completed work, knowing it was a singular musical accomplishment exhibiting their remarkable skills. But she also saw that Dolly and Linda's conflict had affected their cooperation, making it a more complex and sensitive process than any of them had expected. Emmylou saw the argument's impact on her relationships with Linda and Dolly. She remained optimistic, however, that the music would be able to rise above the disputes and serve as a tribute to their combined talent. Dolly apologies for her role in the tension. Years later, Dolly publicly apologized for her role in the dispute, acknowledging that her dislike of artistic constraints and her desire for creative autonomy may have made their recording process more challenging. She apologized for hurt feelings and praised Linda's and Emmylou's skills. Even when she apologized, Dolly said that the event had a lasting impact on her. Despite being happy with the result, she questioned whether she had managed to get over her irritations throughout the trio process. She remained somewhat ambivalent since she could never forgive the limitations placed on her creative process. Mutual respect between them. Although the cooperation was difficult because of their differences, Dolly apologized to Linda for her creative tendencies. Despite their struggles, the two women still complement and value each other's unique musical abilities. Always the go-between, Emmylou maintained close friendships with Dolly and Linda, continuing to collaborate with each artist independently, while nostalgically recalling the miracle the three had created together. Trio 2 went much more smoothly. Dolly, Linda, and Emmylou got back together in the late 1990s to record Trio 2, the much-awaited follow-up to their first hit album. The three artists approached the project with a greater awareness of each other's artistic ideas, thanks to experience and insight gained from age. Even if the conflicts from their last partnership persisted, they could handle them more skillfully and amicably. With both critical and commercial success, Trio 2 cemented the trio's place as one of the most cherished partnerships in the history of country music. The record strengthened their illustrious history by demonstrating that despite previous setbacks, their combined brilliance could still produce music that connected with listeners. The album left an indelible mark. Trio had a lasting impression on the country music genre, despite the internal conflicts and artistic challenges that influenced its formation. The record demonstrated how disparate methods and viewpoints may combine to produce something classic. In addition to creating a highly regarded album, Dolly, Linda, and Emmylou's partnership demonstrated the strength of musical solidarity despite hardship. Their collaboration is still honored today, and Trio is a living example of how artists can overcome obstacles to produce something more significant than the sum of their parts. The album's popularity and lasting impact have ensured that Dolly, Linda, and Emmylou's legacy endures, demonstrating that music can inspire and bring people together across decades, even in the face of adversity. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon